Hello everybody, and welcome to the conclusion of the First to 9 event. We have had an action-packed month filled with a wide variety of submissions, which showed off a mind-boggling range of different combos, ideas, techniques, and playstyles. Even with the restrictions inherent to this challenge, not to mention a variety of self-imposed limitations, many players found ingenious ways to reach 9 stacks of versatility with optimal speed. And their approaches were all wide-ranging, diverse. In this video, we are going to glance over some of the ideas they implemented to make their combos faster and more efficient, delve into other miscellaneous facts about the event, and announce the top 5 fastest submissions, as well as the fastest for each weapon type, before breaking down the top 5 and analyzing what exactly gave them such blazing speed.
Let us begin.
To begin with, the most popular weapons showcased in this contest, either by themselves or paired with others, have been the fists, the uncontested and unsurprising winner, with 18 submissions utilizing them. Next comes the sword, with 14, the tonfa with 11, the duels with 10, the spear with 7, the odachi, hatchets and switchglaive all with 6, the split staff and axe with 3, and the kusarigama with a mere 2 submissions, tied with the submissions that used barehanded techniques. The most used weapon combo has been the fists and tonfa, with 5 appearances, both of which are the 2 most used weapons in this contest, followed by the fists and sword, with 4 submissions each. The most prolific submitters to this contest have been Lemon Tree and Lucius27, with a whopping 7 submissions each. The combo footage in total amounts to about 10 minutes and 48 seconds over 57 submissions, giving us an average submission duration of 11.3 seconds. The most frequently seen submission length has been approximately 10 seconds, with 12 submissions lasting as long, and 6 12-second submissions following after. Weapon switching has been a core component of the multi-weapon submissions, and there have been a few techniques employed in order to swap. The most common by far has been the flash attack, often cancelled partway through with a brute burst counter. Shield swaps are also present when a quick draw skill is desired immediately after the weapon swap. One much lesser known but far more rapid swapping technique that allows for fluid cross-weapon combos, known as machine gun flux to weapon switch, has made an occasional appearance in Kagerashi Maru and Laughing Dragon submissions and even in the event trailer. However, a very impressive and niche technique known as the weapon switch key pulse has been employed by Sacred Force to go into Demon Dash from a fist skill. In addition to the basic movesets of each weapon, yokai skills and items have also made appearances, aiding the accumulation of stacks in their own way. The bread and butter of most submissions has been the brute burst counter, which not only cancels attack animations, but also grants a stack of its own upon landing a hit. Onibi have also been frequently utilized as a rapid animation cancel tool to go into the next move soon after connecting with the first. The Aberrant Soldier's Soul Core has also been used by RX-72 to cancel the recovery frame's final blow, and in particular, reset an enemy to a standing position for follow-up chains. Nureonna was used by RB Frosty to set up a grapple. Last but not least, we have seen a usage of Ippon Dattara by a certain somebody to drain max ki, giving an opening to chain skills as well as setting up a grapple. Items have also played a part in making the stacking process smoother, with many using Salt to put yokai out of ki, so they could set up their chains with ease without having done too much damage beforehand. Shinroku's Guardian Spirit Talisman has been employed for its stagger immunity buff, allowing for continuous chains without fear of being knocked out of them. The Shockwave Talisman has also been shown by Lemon Tree to be useful in keeping yokai staggered and open to the next hit in a chain when out of ki, and we've even seen an Umbral Bullet item cancelled used to the same end by Gravitas. Zealot's Odachi submission has showcased the use of the Play Dead emote to set up Dawn's Light for the first stack, which is cancelled with a Brute Burst counter for a quick 2 stacks. Pulverize for the tonfa counts as a separate skill in each stance, and Demon Fang is yet another skill available out of Demon Dance or Demon Dash, allowing for a potential 4 stacks out of a key pulse. This was demonstrated and explained by Zoik Wild in his submission, and is something you'll often see employed going forward. RB Frosty utilized the full extent of 2 yokai shift forms in his barehanded submission, including the charred skills, the grapples, and burst counters. One of the strangest ways I have ever seen a stack be gained is from a grapple that entirely missed in Kyurim's submission. Yes, that somehow counted. And now we finally come to the speedy aspect of this challenge, tallying the fastest submissions, first by each weapon type, and then the overall fastest top 5. The category for best-in-class submissions only counts the submissions using a single weapon throughout, unless there are no submissions of the sort, in which case the best dual weapon submission featuring the weapon will be counted. The way all the submissions are timed is from the beginning of the first attack frame that initiates a skill to the frame the 9th stack is gained. However, due to time constraints, the best-in-class submissions are mostly approximate estimates, but nonetheless generally happen to be the winners by a clear margin. Are you ready? Here we go. For the sword, Ilmatic comes out on top with 11 seconds. For the spear, Lemon Tree and X-Cage are tied at 10 seconds each. For the dual swords, Lemon Tree takes it at 10 seconds. For the axe, let's applaud Yangji for a very impressive 12.5 seconds. For the Odachi, X-Cage scored a time of 9.24 seconds. For the Thonfa, Okami was able to reach 9 stacks in 10 seconds. For the Switchglaive, Sumi JP turned in a 10-second submission. With the hatchets, Lemon Tree achieved a 9-second submission time. With the Split Staff, a grade on, that's me, did it in 14.38 seconds. With the fists, Nuclear Tooth got a blazing, but also unsurprising, 7-second time. With the Kusarigama, Kagera took it in 16 seconds while pairing it with the axe. Last but not least, RB Frosty was able to hit 9 stacks barehanded in 31 seconds, although even being able to hit 9 stacks was a feat I doubt anyone else had thought of. Hats off. Here we are at last, the top 5. After playing each clip in ascending order from slowest to fastest, I will break them down. A Wild Lion's Kanagi cancel into Pulverize, cancelled again with Kanagi, is followed up with Tiger Bite into Demon Dash and Demon Fang, and a Brute Burst counter, after which Nuclear Tooth swaps to the fists and performs a stomp into the first hit of Kick Cycle, and gets the last stack with Defensive Drop. The pattern Nuclear follows with the Thonfa is to open chains with a skill, out of which he goes into Kanagi or Demon Dash. He weapon swaps after automatically sheathing it with a Brute Burst counter, which goes against the norm of cancelling the flash attack with it, but allows him to skip the weapon switch animation altogether. Also notable is the fact that Defensive Drop allows you to get a stack so early in its animation, making it a perfect finisher. A Knife Hand Strike to drain Ki is followed up with a single hit of Kick Cycle into Stomp, off of which Lemon Tree swaps to the Thonfa with a flash attack, which is cancelled by a Brute Burst counter into Tiger Bite, Demon Dash, and Demon Fang for the final hit. One thing of particular note in this submission is the continuous forward momentum Lemon Tree applies with his skill choice in order to stay close to the out-of-key yokai, who would otherwise be pushed away. This is most evident with the Tiger Bite to Demon Dash and Demon Fang chain. Opening with Knife Hand Strike to Rising Gale, Lucius then goes for the single hit Kick Cycle and Stomp, Sheed swapping into Sign of the Cross to Winter Wind, followed by a flash attack back to the fists cancelled with a Brute Burst counter into a Wolf's Claw for the final stack. Lucius displays a good grasp of his available options on Ki Pulse, using both of his weapons' Ki Pulse attacks and utilising Sheed swaps, as well as chaining Winter Wind into flash attack. He does lose a little bit of time going with a slow animation of Wolf's Claw at the end, but that is a small flaw in an excellent submission. Soothe begins with a Tiger Bite into Demon Dash and Pulverize, which he Kanagi cancels to go into Demon Fang, followed by a Sheed swap to Sign of the Cross into Winter Wind, Demon Thrust to Flash Attack, and cancels with a Brute Burst counter to reach stack 9. It's not often you see a Demon Fang utilized out of a Demon Dance or Kanagi, but it is a useful option in various situations, and in this case it allowed Suit to chain Demon Dash to Pulverize, which connects much sooner, and then Kanagi cancel directly into it. You can get 2 of the options out of a single press of your key pulse button, but not all 3. This is also the only submission in the top 5 that doesn't utilize the fists. Before we get to the final submission, however, it is time to take a look at a very special, very interesting attempt at this challenge. Here, Sacred Force, aka Last Low, aka Sacred Fingers, mentor to the community and genius gamer, puts his mind to the task and comes up with an unusual approach. Opting for the slowest charged attacks available to each weapon, he builds up stacks with a single-minded determination to persevere through all the hits, aided by generous hyper armor. His lethality is enhanced, no doubt, by the possibility his enemies might age in the process of rummaging through the menus and finding up the skills, or perhaps even die of old age on their own. You didn't think Sacred was done with just that, did you? That would be awfully disappointing, wouldn't it? Well, he wasn't. He adopted an entirely different tack for this next submission. Prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because here is the first to 9. Starting off at a moderate pace with the first hit of Opportunist into Rising Gale, Sacred follows it up with the first hit of Kick Cycle, something we have seen before, but then he switches it up on us, literally, with a weapon switch into Demon Dash and Pulverize, which is perfectly Kanagi cancelled into Demon Fang, also perfectly cancelled into Tiger Bite, followed with a flash attack back to the fists, which is so perfectly cancelled into the Brute Burst counter that it's hard to even see. And that's it. 9 stacks have been built in the blink of an eye, and in that blink it feels like you watched a force of nature unravel and remake the world around you. I have seen some beautiful submissions emerge from this challenge, which I have memorialized in the highlight reels, but I have never seen such a confluence of blinding speed, mechanically perfect execution, unrelenting ferocity, and dance-like elegance, all in one clip. This clip is awe-inspiring. And with that, this event comes to a close. The Nioh community has come together to unveil its best players and to put forth its most creative ideas to reach 9 stacks of versatility with all haste. And we have crowned a winner, but I have no doubt all of us came away enlightened and impressed with the depth and breadth of skill available to us in the combat system of this game. I would like to thank everyone for participating so far. Your combo creations, your ingenuity have been inspiring, and have served as the iron to sharpen ourselves against, for us all to be honed to a higher level of gameplay as we tap a bit deeper into the depths of Nioh's combat. I would especially like to thank Emmanuel, Master, Rodriguez for paying attention to the interests and passions of the community, helping and supporting them along the way, and relaying our feedback and bug reports to the dev team despite being constantly swamped with a lot of other work. An involvement like yours is not forgotten. Last but not least, I would like to thank everyone for watching. I hope this event has engaged your interest in the beauty and complexity of Nioh's combat, and that this may redefine the way the game is perceived in some way. If this event has sparked the urge to contribute and participate in collaborations that put the flashy, artistic side of Nioh on display, or you simply happen to be craving more intricate combo action to watch, do check out the long-running Combo Mad series on Poofa Llama's YouTube channel, and maybe consider sending in some clips for the next one. Nioh 2 is far from done, and I hope to see you all here again. Till next time, Slayers of Yokai.